Mark, very good to see you. Today, we have 5 financial resolutions for a happy and successful 2024. We're revisiting this annual favorite, but with some new resolutions. And today, we're sharing our top 5. Resolution number 1, meet your match, or as my dad says, don't leave free money on the table.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, Aaron, and thank you so much. It's great to see you again. And I know with resolutions that we're talking about here, it's not so much about going to the gym and those sorts of things. All of those things are really important, and we want to make sure we have good mental health, we have good physical health. But as far as financial fitness goes, we want to revisit a lot of these things. And you're right, we want to make sure that we're contributing at least up to the company match. If our company is giving us free money, we can't leave that on the table.
Mhm.
So I encourage everyone to look at that and make sure you're at minimum, you're contributing at least to the company match.
Mhm. Resolution number 2, contribute more to retirement. But I'm wondering, is there a goal percentage that we should be saving for retirement? And of that, how much should be going into a Roth account?
Well, in our view, we believe tax rates are going up. So we would encourage most people, if they're not, if they do have a Roth feature attached to their 401k, we would encourage most people to contribute all of their contributions to a Roth. However, you kind of have to ease your way into it, because if you're contributing the max and it's tax deferred, moving all of that to a Roth, obviously you're going to have less in your paycheck. So you want to graduate into that. Now, if you don't have a Roth, our recommendation would be at least contribute to the company match and then look at other tax-free alternatives where you can direct that money to those accounts that ultimately you have more control with. But yeah,
Okay.
what is the right amount to save? I mean, obviously we want to max out our savings, but I think that really boils down to looking at how much you have, how much you're going to need in retirement, and really running some of those projections so you have an idea of how much you really need to be saving.
Right. Good point. All right. Resolution number 3, create a budget. I feel like this is on almost everybody's financial resolution list.
Yeah, I mean, it's, some people love to budget, some people just hate it. And I'm not, we're not going to say, look, you don't have to be so anal about it, but I think it would be good to kind of revisit where your money's going. Maybe track your expenses or what you're spending for 1 month, on where is it going on the credit cards? How much are you spending at Starbucks? And really, there's probably opportunities there where you can cut some things out and then ultimately redirect that money to savings, building up your emergency fund wherever it needs to go.
hmm And then that perfectly leads into number 4, which is build that emergency fund. This is really important.
Yeah, and most financial experts, this is one thing I think they can all agree on, whether you hear from Susie Orman, Clark Howard, um, they'll say, look, you need to have at least 6 months of emergency fund, or we like to call it a comfort fund. How much do you need to have in a bank account, a money market, cash readily available? Now, it could be more than that, but I think at minimum, you need 6 months. And if you don't have that, you really need, that's where we need to look at that budget and really start redirecting some of that cash that you're spending frivolously and moving it over into that emergency fund or that comfort fund.
Because the last thing you want to do is have to borrow if you have an emergency expense. Resolution number 5, insure yourself. So that emergency fund is a great first step, but insuring yourself means that you and your family will be okay in case the worst happens.
Yeah, and this could mean a lot of things. So we like to look at it very comprehensive. Obviously, we all have to have property and casualty insurance, home and auto. And what I would suggest people to do, especially at the beginning of the year, it's not up to you to do it. Have your agent or the company you have insurance with do an audit of your coverages, home, auto, to make sure your limits of liability are up to where they need to be. I'll give you an example. We had a fire here a couple of years ago in December, wiped out 1,200 homes up by Boulder.
Right.
Well, a year later, there was only 24 building permits issued. It's because everybody else was underinsured. Now, beyond that, you want to make sure, you have proper life insurance. That could be permanent, term, all those different things. And obviously, if we're building permanent life insurance, we also have the ability to now grow money in another tax-free account that ultimately could be used for income and or long-term care. So we're mitigating some of these. These are the big threats in retirement: higher taxes and long-term care. And we have to look at inflation too, because we're now in a higher inflation environment than we've been in for the last 15, 20 years.
Mhm. A lot of really good points here. Mark, if
Yes.
somebody would like your help with these resolutions, or if they just want, you to hold them accountable to their own financial goals, what's the best way to reach you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I encourage you to give us a call. One of our, either myself, one of our team members can definitely help you with any of these questions, sort it out. But the easiest way to get a hold of us is either go to our website, mcgregorwealth.com, or you can give us a call directly, 303-681-0113, and we'd be glad to talk to you and have a chat.
All right, Mark, thank you. Happy New Year.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much, Aaron.